If you are tuning into this video, you're probably having some strong emotions like aggravation, frustration, and maybe even some regret about getting a puppy. I've been there, and most new puppy owners have also been there. Now, despite the pictures you see online, puppies are not always sleeping and cuddling or just playing nicely with a cute toy. They are work. Now today, I'm going to help you through some of those emotions by explaining what is probably happening with your puppy. Now I think you're going to get some great information that's going to allow you to move forward with your puppy in a more positive and rewarding way. Michele here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Now, before we jump in, let's do a little mindset check. I will not be able to solve your puppy's frustrating behavior in just one video. Don't sign up just yet, because I am going to get you on the road to understanding your puppy for a lifetime. Now, maybe you've heard me say that puppy training is like calculus. You have to learn the basics before you can get to the hard stuff. And if you're having the puppy blues, well, that's totally normal as well. Now, you can check out a few other tips about the blues in this video here. So consider that your homework. But before we move into the topic for today, just go ahead and do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button so you can keep layering on all this great info. And stick around until the end today because I'm going to give you some questions I want you to ask yourself about that frustrating behavior. That will be one of the first steps in resolving it. So the first thing I want you to know is puppies learn primarily from body language, not words. All right, think about how much puppies learn before they even come into your home. Now they figure out how to find food, how to walk, how to play, where to nap. Puppies definitely aren't learning those things from a human telling them. They actually learn from body language and reinforcement with a big dose of instinct added in. It's so hard for humans to teach using body language. Humans naturally want to just speak words and expect their puppy to learn. But you should assume that your puppy is, number one, a small baby, and number two, speaks an entirely different language. Because he is, and he does. So, if you've been using a lot of words with your dog and he's just not listening, it's because he doesn't speak that language. Now that's when you know it's time to try another approach. Now the second thing I want you to know is your puppies aren't as mature as you think they are. It's really easy to overestimate the developmental age of your puppy, and this often drives humans crazy. I mean, at 9 weeks old, your puppy can run and jump and play and bark. So you assume that she's like a human who can do all these similar behaviors. But at 9 weeks old, your puppy's brain is so much more like an infant, not a toddler. Some puppies at that age are actually just starting to get the idea that outside is the place to go potty. But it's going to depend on how often you work on this. So just be sure that you aren't expecting more than your puppy can naturally deliver. So for a good idea of when your puppy might achieve certain milestones, check out this video here. Are you ready to move on? I've got more great tips for you. Here's the third thing I want you to do. I want you to watch for human error and accidental reinforcement. Did I offend you? I didn't really mean to, but it's really common to accidentally make the frustrating behavior worse. Let's take biting as an example. Now, the puppy starts biting a shoe that she found near the door, and the human starts chasing the puppy into the other room saying, "Hey, come back here with that shoe." This is now a great game for the puppy, who has no idea that the shoe is not a chew toy. I mean, it smells good, it feels good on the gums. How is this not a toy? The human has now accidentally reinforced the sequence of grabbing the shoe and running away with it. Be careful what you reinforce. Now, another key point and a common mistake is leaving the shoe out in the first place. That's just setting the puppy up to fail. Supervising properly and puppy-proofing your home is really the first step. We call this management of the space, and it's a big topic for students enrolled in my online course. Do you want to know more about that? The link's below. Now, are you starting to see the larger role that a human plays in this? Believe me, it's totally normal to get frustrated and mad at your dog. I get it. But I cannot stress this enough. You are the more advanced thinker in this relationship. The dog will not be able to solve this for herself. It's going to be up to you to sort through what you might be able to do differently. This leads me to my fourth point. Don't expect your puppy to know something he hasn't been taught. So here's a question I get a lot. Michele, my dog goes potty on the floor right in front of the door. He didn't even tell me that he needed to go out. What's up with that? Yeah, that can totally be irritating. But here's my question to you. What signal do you want him to use to tell you that he needs to go out? And if you don't know what his potty signal is, he definitely doesn't know. Now, I personally like the bell training system. Now, I go over how to teach it to your puppy in my new puppy starter kit. This digital kit filled with videos and printable resources is like your blueprint for potty training success. And the best part is, it's totally free. The link is below in the description. All right, let's keep going. Now, the fifth thing you can do if you're frustrated is evaluate your dog's daily schedule. Dogs have needs. They need the basics like food and water, but they also need play and enrichment activities. Now, this could be shredding or digging or scavenging or even chasing. They need to do these things that they were born to do, like herding if you're a corgi, or sniffing if you're a beagle, or swimming if you're a lab. Now, take a moment to think of your dog's DNA, and you'll probably figure out what he likes to do. Now, it's going to be up to you to offer those kinds of activities, because if you don't offer them, he'll likely find a way to do them anyway. Now, when thinking of the daily schedule, I challenge you to think about more than just physical exercise. There's no need to create a super athlete in your puppy. If you balance out physical exercise and mental exercise like enrichment activities, you'll probably likely have a puppy who is much more settled when you're ready to plop on the couch. Now, these two videos are going to help you incorporate physical and mental exercise into your puppy's schedule. Are you ready for my sixth tip? Those of you with doorbell barkers are going to love this one. Speaking of bells, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay, next up we have understand the environmental triggers. Now, I have a doorbell barker. I'm looking at you, Harper. Who am I kidding? Harper is my doorbell. This is what we call the ABCs, the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequences. Now, the antecedent is the trigger. That's the doorbell. The behavior is the barking. And the consequences are probably something like the human engaging with the dog. Harper, quiet down. That's what I mean when I talk about accidental reinforcement earlier. But what if your struggle is biting? What's triggering the biting? Maybe it's a human walking through a room at a fast pace. Maybe it's a flowing skirt or pant leg. Maybe it's an excited child. Now, I can't determine your trigger, but I bet you can. Now, if you can figure out what is happening when the behavior starts, you'll be on the right path to addressing it. Sometimes just removing the trigger is the first step. Now, instead of talking about things we don't like, let's switch gears and talk about things we do like. This leads me to point number 7. Identify what behaviors you want to see instead. Now, when you're seeing this frustrating behavior, if you could wave a magic wand and your dog would do blank, what would it be? Tell me exactly what you want your dog to do instead of biting your pant leg. Oh, and the answer can't be stop biting my pant leg. I'm gonna need a real specific response from you. Most people would be happy if the dog just chewed on the right thing, like a nylabone or even a split antler. Okay, we can work on that. This is where you teach the dog what you do want instead of getting frustrated with what you don't. Now, I always say to redirect, and this is a perfect example. Teach your dog that the nylabone is the better place to bite. Now, once we know what we want the dog to do, instead, it's time to reinforce like crazy so the dog chooses that behavior first. Now, I'm talking about treats and praise and petting or anything to signal that you like the new behavior. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you here. Dogs are living beings. They're not an afterthought to be left on the shelf while you're living your life. They're not an accessory that you can program to sleep when you're busy, but be your best companion when you need one. They have needs that must be met. And they rely on the human 100% for that. Training isn't hard, it just takes some time and some understanding on the part of the human. If you get the training moving in the right direction, I guarantee that you and your dog will really enjoy this time together, and your relationship will grow. Alright, as I promised, here are the big questions that I want you to ask yourself about your dog's frustrating behavior. Is this a natural puppy behavior? If so, how can I adjust it to fit into my human world? Am I expecting too much of my young puppy? Am I accidentally reinforcing or rewarding the behavior that I don't want? Am I contributing to the behavior by not puppy-proofing or supervising? Does the dog have a schedule that meets his needs, including mental and physical exercise? What is happening that could be triggering or reinforcing the unwanted behavior? What exactly do I want the dog to do instead? I really love to just keep talking about all these fascinating concepts when it comes to canine behavior, but I'd be here all day. But you can learn more about these and more in my online course. And if you enroll, you can digest these concepts and over 50 training videos. as slowly as you'd like because there's no expiration date on the course. Now, there are so many more concepts that we go over with students in that online course, including weak windows, turning up the training dial too quickly, deprivation to Disneyland, counterconditioning for overcoming fear, recognizing body language, reinforcement value and frequency, and hand placement and body posture and how it impacts training. We actually call these the mechanics of training, and they play a huge part in your success. So, if today's video gave you some great information and you're ready for more, come on over and join the students who are having an amazing time learning and building a great relationship up with their dogs. In the comments below, tell me which one of these concepts are you going to work on first?